caught up in getting that mic. Anybody know how to do that? They said, you know how to do that? Okay. All right. Hey, somebody, come on, man. Soldiership. Is this it? All right. I'm not gonna do any announcements. We already started late. We're gonna start out with questions for whoever logs in online, and this right here, I think this is gonna take a lot more time. But and I want to go into my class, so let's wait till they dig in. Come on, and then keep going though. What you're saying, so I can try to figure out where you're coming from.
Okay.
Huh?
Come. Matthew chapter 24, verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So took them all away. What does that mean?
Killed, destruction.
Destroyed. Okay.
Correct. That's the context in which I'm using the word taken. Right? I'm using it opposite of what they were speaking of. That's why I referenced, they were talking about the rapture, they wrote books and made movies. When they said rapture and they used taken, they were using it in the context of being saved up out of. I'm using it in the context of being destroyed and dying.
Okay. In certain instances, you are correct, like we're reading here. But when it reads to salvation and being delivered,
right,
it says you're going to be taken up. Right?
Yes.
You're going to be taken up.
Yes.
That was going to deliver us out of the destruction. So like I said, I could see it's a vocabulary thing. It's we're talking about one word on how it's used in its context, but in different times that word taken is used as destruction, and then in another it's talking about what? We're going to be delivered.
Right.
But that doesn't paint the picture of salvation. You can't paint it off of that.
No. Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, so I get that's true. This is true. What you're reading is true. But remember that word was used different contexts at different times. It wasn't just one time. Right? I mean, you agree to that? Yeah. And I agree with what you're saying. Because that's what the scripture says, right? Right? At one moment they're gonna be taken, and in the next minute, taken was used as you're gonna be delivered.
Well,
Yeah.
It's still like the same today. Like you got the man that's supposed to take Cinderella, right? And then you got the movie, the actual taking.
Right.
So you still got two concepts of that.
Yeah.
You got one where she's being saved. I believe that's the Cinderella story.
Okay.
That's the Cinderella one, right? That's
I'm riding with you on this. Go ahead.
In the Shrek, what was old girl?
Fiona?
Fiona. So he came to take her.
Right. Take her to be his wife.
Right.
I'm gonna take her to be mine.
Come on.
Yeah. I think what was going on here, what he's posing is, let's look at this taken concept, and does it mean for us to be taken up, and in some instances taken and destroyed. And that's what my point was, that in one instance it is taken and be destroyed, and in another it's you're going to be delivered, right? Because that's just the vocab. What's that?
Gamari is asking what scripture says will we be taken up for deliverance.
Thessalonians.
I'm right.
It says you should be delivered up, right? Go ahead, go that out with it.
Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 17.
Yeah. First Thessalonians.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 17.
Yeah, you got to read it a little bit louder.
When we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
Select.
Right.
Okay, you know, I'm sorry. Sorry, you were going to expound on that.
No. I was just saying on this point that we were caught up, we were taken up, right? We were brought up from the condition we were in, and we were delivered out of that destruction, right? The Zechariah 13, 14, right? Yeah.
So, I agree with that.
Uh-huh.
Another one of my points is
Now let me, for everybody to understand, what is your mind state in this? Where are you coming from? What's your point?
for me, it was expelling that lie, right? Of you or seeking to expel that lie, that you want to be left behind. I get that.
That you want to be left behind?
Yes, I get that we're going to be taken, saved, removed from the destruction.
Right.
Right. While we're here, you know, there will be death and destruction around us.
Right.
You know, but it won't come nigh us, like David said.
Right.
Those who believe, those who keep to the faith.
Right.
Right.
It won't come down. Exactly.
That's my foundation.
Right.
Right. I am just on expelling that lie.
Right.
Right. Like it says here. Right. Going back to 1 Thessalonians 4:17.
Right.
It says, then, right, we which are alive and remain.
Remain where?
Which are alive and remain.
Where?
Here, on earth.
Right.
Right?
On earth.
We're alive and remain. So that destruction, that woe, right, has already taken place. It has not come nigh those who are alive and remain.
Right.
And then it says, right, shall be caught up together with them in the cloud to meet the Lord in the air. Right? That scripture, right, that's my foundation. Right? Those who are alive and remain. After that destruction has come, right, you know, then we are caught up. You know, and it says the dead in Christ shall rise first, right? So they're rising, and then those who are alive and remain, then they're rising.
You're right.
Right.
Okay. That's true.
That's my point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you are correct, because that's what the word says. We agree on that. We agree on that. I think it's just getting to this point to where, you know, what brought that point to your mind though? Oh, because you were saying dispelling the Christian belief about the rapture. Right. Yeah. What part?
Well, the part where they were being, because I read some of the, well, I won't say I read some of the book. I started to read it. I know some people who have. I've seen the movies.
Right.
Right. And the message is, right, live, right, according to the word. Okay. Right? Believe, have faith, right? And God will save you out of the destruction to come. If you, and there was some other crazy stuff, because they were like, if once there's gonna be some that are saved out of the destruction, right? And there's gonna be some that are left, right? Right. And then those who are left will get an opportunity to be saved later. Right. I'm not talking about that.
That's weird, because it chops up salvation. Exactly. That don't make sense according to the gospel, right?
Don't make sense.
What were you trying to dispel?
Okay. It being good for you to be taken. No, I'm sorry. sorry, it being good for you to be left behind rather than taken.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because-
Right. And then it goes back to the Esdras where it says, woe to him that is left behind. Right. Why? Because what's going to happen? If you're left behind when those bombs drop, when Yahweh Shai lets the destruction, what's going to happen? It's woe. It's destruction. You're going to be destroyed.
Okay, I guess I haven't put the sequence timeline together.
Right.
On it being because
There you go.
I see the destruction come, right? That happens, and then according to First Thessalonians 4:17, those who are alive and remain, right?
Okay, let's add a piece in there. 2nd Ezra 13 tells us what? Right? See, we're jumping to the actual deliverance. But 2nd Ezra 13 tells us what's going to be happening. The world is going to be Matthew's 24. Wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, like we're doing now, right? Yeah, Russia's bucking up. It's beautiful, right? So we're getting to this point to where you got wars, rumors of wars, right? So 2nd Ezra 13 tells us, let's go there real quick. 2nd Ezra 13, and then you're going to read okay, start at verse listen, for the new people, let's start at verse 1. All right? I know y'all know it, but Shamara hasn't got this, right? Go ahead.
2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 1. And it came to pass,
Right?
after 7 days,
Right?
I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof.
Right? Now, this is good because it goes right back to what we went over last week about Daniel's, the 7th chapter. The winds, when you go to Revelation 7, it uses the same context as the winds, meaning what? Destruction. Right? Go ahead.
And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled.
Right. Now, we're at this point, if somebody can jump real quick, come on, move quick. Daniel 7:18. Remember when we read in Daniel's, the 7th chapter, all the nations, all the kingdoms fell, and the kingdom was given to who? Yahweh Shai. Right? Well, we're in the middle right there. Right? We're in the kingdoms are falling. But they have to have, there's this pinnacle event that has to happen, right? Like I said, I know y'all know this. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
Well, how are we going to take the kingdom? Right? Go to Revelations 19:11 real quick. That was Daniel's what?
7 verse 18.
What's your question? Quick. No, hold. Like right now, just listen. You got to listen. Go to where you at? Revelations 19:11.
Revelation chapter 19 verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in his righteousness he doeth judge and make war.
So this is what's happening here. What we're seeing in 2nd Esdras. When you finish Daniel's the 7th chapter, you get to this point to where the Son of Man is, all thrones are cast down before him, right? Right? So what happened before that? What happened before all thrones were cast down? We got to keep in mind, you were married, given in marriage, wars, rumors of wars, famine, pestilence, Matthew's the 24th chapter. Many shall come in my name, saying I am Christ, and deceive many. All this is going on. And then you reach to this point where Yahweh Shai pierces the fourth dimension, the spiritual realm, right? Or the third dimension from the fourth, right? Come into our dimension. Go ahead.
His eyes were as a flame of fire.
Uh-huh.
And on his head were many crowns.
Right.
And he had a name written that no man knew.
Right.
But he himself.
Read.
And he was clothed with the vesture dipped in blood.
Right. We know how we're going to get to that point how it was dipped in blood, right? That Isaiah 64, Isaiah 34, right? Where he stamped the residue of the nations, right? Go ahead.
And his name is called the Word of God.
Go ahead.
And the armies which were in heaven.
The what? The what?
The armies which were in heaven followed him.
So we're at that point. We're at that point where the armies of heaven is coming to the earth. Go back to Esdras.
Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
Right.
And when he turned his countenance to look,
right,
all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Right.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth,
right,
all they burned that heard his voice.
Right. Now this goes with this fire in Revelations 18. I just said, right? Babylon is going to be brought down. It's going to be a continual fire, right? Well, how did that fire come about? Yahweh Shai. But also them, we're going to read down, attacking Yahweh Shai. Because you know how every movie you always see them, let's shoot the nukes, right? No, we can't do that because then we'll have it'll be a fallout. It'll affect the whole world, right? Well, they're not going to give a damn about that. When they see him, they're going to meet fire with fire, right? This is what it's telling us as we read down. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And after that I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men.
Right.
Out of number, from the four winds of the heaven.
Right.
To subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Go ahead.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain.
Right. So you see that? So what is it telling us here? Revelations 19, when he comes through with the armies of heaven, what is the FBI, CIA, Air Force, military, Army, Marines, the dang Iranian Marines, the Pakistani Marines, the Pakistani Air Force. What is all these nations going to do? They're going to look and say, wait a minute, alien invasion, we seen this, right? Yeah. They're thinking that aliens are coming back. We're going to come back and kill these people, right? Only the high elite knows what. This is Yahweh Shai coming back. Regime change, right?
That climate change.
The climate change, right? He's finna change the climate of the world and do what? Take down one kingdom, right? And that's where the saints of the Most High will take the kingdom, right? But this got to happen. This is the process. Now, at this time, what are we doing? Because that's what we're talking about, really. We're crying and begging and screaming. It says, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. It says, their knees shall be weak as water. We're crying and praying. Because remember, this is it. This is going on in the skies, right? Joel tells us what? He's going to come with his troops and they shall invade them, right? So you got this invasion happening and angels moving, like it says in Joel, like lightning. You got bombs going off in the sky. Imagine, y'all hear it a lot out here in VA. you hear those, they did it on the street speaking. We were over there and they were, boom, and we thought they was going to drop a bomb on us. Brothers really were like, you know what I mean? Me, I was saying, yes, Lord, take me. You know what I mean? But brothers was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Right?
I was ready for that as well.
Yeah.
Because I was standing with his father.
Yeah, Bakar.
Bakar, and the I know which is they call it a gunship, right? It's a plane, but they call it a gunship. And I saw it flew overhead.
Right.
And I was like,
whoa. we were like, what the heck?
And then moments later, that jet.
Boom, right.
Yeah.
So now imagine, listen what it said. It says, lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number. Out of number, meaning what? You're not going to be able to number how many planes and fighter jets and them flying in the sky from every nation, kindred and tongue to subdue Yahweh Shai. So imagine the sky is nothing but missiles and bombs and boom, 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 and all that noise. You ain't gonna be doing nothing but crying to the Most High. That's all we're gonna be doing. So this is what's happening, right? Before we get to this point that the original topic was we're talking about. Go ahead. Read.
And after this I beheld, and lo,
right,
all they which were gathered together,
right,
to subdue him were sore afraid. Salaki, I was kind of back in verse 5. It said to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Right, meaning he came out of the nations. Right? When you see Yahweh Shai, he's going to come out from across the nations, the world. Right? The sea represented the nations. Remember we went over that? Right. So remember, Yahweh Shai is going to come from across the world.
Right.
As it's in Matthew's, it says as God dang. It says you can go to the one where it says the whole earth shall see him.
I was thinking that.
Right, the whole earth shall see him. So he's finna come from across the world to where it ain't like, where's Yahweh Shai? Oh, he's over there. No, everybody's gonna see him. Right? And then they're gonna fear. So literally, you got our brothers and sisters in the military that are gonna get the order to do what? Shoot to kill. Right? Kill the aliens. Kill these black men, these creatures, because a lot of them are going to be looking like us, but out of fear, they're going to be looking like what? They could be looking like the cherubs, right? The angels can transform to anything. So they're going to be fearful, but they're going to yet read on. Verse 6.
Verse 6. I was at verse 8.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid. And yet just fight. Right.
They're still going to fight. Go ahead.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Verse 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
Now, when we say out of his, when you see through the scriptures where out of his mouth is a two-edged sword, that's twofold. We know it's the word of the Most High. Like when you read Matthew 10:34, and he says, I came not to send peace on earth but a sword. That sword at that time meant what? Divide, right? But it's twofold. Because what is he bringing to the earth? Destruction, the sword, right? Those that will not reign over me, bring them hither and slay them before me. Luke 19:27. Go ahead.
And verse 10.
Uh-huh.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
That right there in itself. Could you imagine that? First of all, we remember, Yahweh Shai is going to be big enough for the world to see him. There's going to be 200 million chariots in the sky. Right? What?
What I'm thinking when this is happening, I'm thinking of like, this is a whole nother army from a whole nother world that we've never seen. And it's going to be like, I think that's even their glory, how glorious they're going to be looking.
We can't even imagine.
People going to faint off of that.
Yeah.
Just off the glory they're going to come with.
Right. When we go to Revelations, it says what? They're going to run and try to hide in their holes. Mm-hmm. Right? They're going to try to tell the rocks fall on us. Right? They're gonna try to, all the bunkers they created, yep. They're going to hide in these bunkers. Right? But Joel, the scriptures in Joel said what? They're gonna go from house to house, and these angels are going to be jumping in. And as if it was the Garden of Eden on one side, and then in the front, and then in the back is what? All consumed destruction, right? Wow. So it's so many scriptures, but we're getting to this point to where, when do we be delivered up? It's not now. Somebody got to kick some butt right now, right? That's Yahweh Shai, and how is he doing this? Because the other misconception is, yeah, I'm gonna get my guns, right? I'm gonna do it with Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is gonna be killing, and I'm gonna just be running down the street, shooting Esau in the face, like zombies, right? Well, go hold that. Just on that point, go to Isaiah. I'm gonna be diving, shooting Esau in the face. They're getting. The mix-up is when it says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. That's after the rebels are purged out. You ain't doing nothing with rebels among you, because brothers is arguing with you anyway. The Most High is not having that. And Joel says that his troops would not break their rank. They shall march in their troop and not break their rank. We can get you to show. We can't get you to show up on time right now. So it ain't gonna be what we think. Isaiah 63, verse 4.
Isaiah chapter 63, verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
Right.
And I looked, and there was none to help.
There was what?
None to help.
Wait. I thought brothers was going to help.
None to help.
There was what?
None to help.
There was none to help. Why? Because we are not going to take the glory and the wrath of the Lamb. You're not going to take that from Yahweh Shai. He wants all of that. He's been waiting. So he's been waiting. So you're not gonna. We're not gonna be running down the street diving, Call of Duty, shooting Esau in the face like, Esau, this time.
Turn it around in the air.
Yeah, nah, man. The Most High is using spiritual power. First of all, it says they shall fall upon the sword and not die. What are we gonna have? We're gonna be crying. We're gonna be begging. We're going to be pleading to the Most High. Go what?
I was going to say, and it's going to happen in 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Us killing, we're going to kill like two Edomites.
Nah.
By that time,
you first of all, in the first 5 minutes, you breathing hard, right? Why? Because you ain't doing no cardio, right? You doing this. Your workout is this. Eating, right? That's it. But other than that, Yahweh Shai is going to do the work alone. Go ahead. Come on, finish that.
And none was to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold.
Right?
Therefore, mine own arm brought salvation unto me.
Period. Period. My own arm brought salvation. So just to get that little point out there, let's jump back to Esdras. Back to Esdras where you left off.
And lo, verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Right.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together. The blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
Right. Now, this is what's happening. The blast is creating a thermal fire, and their blast is creating a thermal fire. Now, what scriptures go there? Go back to Zechariah, because it's going to concur. It's going to concur with 2nd Esdras. Go back to Zechariah 14. Right? Where did we leave off? I never actually got a chance to read it. Yeah, Zechariah 14. And you're going to read verse 12.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12.
Go ahead.
And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Right.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand on their feet.
Right.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
Right. So now we see what fire Yahweh Shai is going to come with a double fire. It's like when the magicians tried to do their trickery, that thermo is going to destroy them. Yahweh Shai's fire is going to destroy them. So it's a double fire that's going to destroy the wicked, right? And we're finding out what? It's 2/3 of our people that are going to be joined with them, right? It's 1/3 of us that's going to be saved, right? Go ahead.
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High.
Now, we're reading about this tumult. Somebody flip. You're going to hold that. Somebody flip it. Go to 2 Peter 3 and 10. Because it literally, everyone is telling you the same thing. How this process is going to happen. 2 Peter 3 and 10. Go ahead.
2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10.
But
the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
Just a reminder, as partying, dancing, giving in marriage, it's not gonna be known like, oh yeah, everybody. It's not gonna be seen so easily, right? Go ahead.
In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Right. Now we understand what the noise is gonna be. Them throwing bombs and the fire that's coming from him and the angels. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Right. You see, the same thing Zechariah said, the same thing that Ezra is saying, right? Go ahead.
The earth also and the works that are therein,
right,
shall be burnt up.
Right. Now jump back to Zechariah, finish it. Zechariah 14 and 12 again.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand.
Okay, so I'm going off of 12. What's happening there first? Which is what? The fire, the destruction that Yahweh Shai is bringing. The scriptures is telling us what it meant when Peter said the elements shall melt with fervent heat. He was saying what Zechariah was saying. Zechariah and Ezra were saying the same thing, which is what? The fire of Yahweh Shai, the fire of this destruction will burn them up, right? Now let's jump back.
And they shall lay hold.
No. Just jump back to Esdras. Jump back to Esdras. Let's finish that up.
Verse 11.
And
they were all mixed together. The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest.
Right.
And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
Right, and that's why it says, thus with violence.
Yes.
He's going to read it, write it down. Revelations 18 and what?
21.
Go ahead.
And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea,
Right.
saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down.
See, all the prophets were saying the same thing, saying the exact same thing. All we got to do is just put the pieces right there. You see, damn, everybody was showing us the process of what was going to happen. Go ahead.
And shall be found no more at all.
Right. We're going to go back to that because that's talking about not the world. It's talking about Babylon. Because that's where the Christians think the whole world is going to go up in the smoke. And then we're going to be with Yahweh Shai, go up in the clouds with him forevermore. They don't understand that that meant us going up in the chariots. Babylon specifically is going to be destroyed. Right? Go ahead. Let's go back to Esdras.
And burn them up,
Right.
every one, so that upon a sudden of the innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived,
Right.
but only dust and smell of smoke.
Right. That Thanos snap. Where do you think they got it from? They got it from the scriptures. Go ahead.
When I saw this, I was afraid. Verse 12. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and called unto me. I'm sorry, Salaki. And called unto him another peaceable multitude.
Right. So we get to this point. Remember, this is a vision. So he's telling you in sequences. The destruction's going to happen. Now, when the destruction is happening, where are we? We're crying, we're moaning, we're pleading for the Most High. But now, when you go to Thessalonians, it says what? Let's go back to Thessalonians. Remember, because we don't want to be in this fire, right? Right? Before you go to Thessalonians, go to Psalms, right? Noonday, the one you quoted. Delivered from the noise. Watch. No, yeah, it's Psalms. It is Psalms. Yeah, it is Psalms 91. Go to Psalms 91. Psalms 91, verse. The noise of the archers is in verse. No. It's Psalms 91.
5?
Yep. There you go. Start at 5.
Psalms chapter 91 and verse 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night,
Go ahead.
nor for the arrow that flieth by day.
Right. So what arrows is he talking about? He's talking about the same arrows that Job talked about. Right? The glittering arrow, right? Not a regular arrow. The arrow, these missiles have a glittering fire that comes out the back. It says they come out the goal, right? This is what Job was talking about. In the spirit, they all knew this. The Most High was giving us the pieces, right? We're going to be delivered from those arrows, right? We know arrows back in the day was what? A form of what? Destruction. You seen those arrows coming, that's it. It's wartime, right? Well, the same thing with the missiles. Those are the modern day arrows, right? So these missiles, we're going to be, Lord willing, us that continue in the will of the Lord will be delivered from the arrows that fly in noonday, right? Go ahead.
nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness,
Right?
nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
That destruction is what Yahweh Shai is going to bring. He's going to bring that destruction. But who's going to be delivered? Us. Why? Now go to Thessalonians. Y'all can read that. Y'all you can read that, sis. But go back to Thessalonians. Right? Go ahead.
Then we, which are alive and remain.
Where you at? You got to say where you at.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Then we which are alive and remain.
Remain where? Remain from what? The damn destruction, the chaos, the residue of all the people that just died. Right? The ones that are left from that. Go ahead.
Shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
Right?
To meet the Most High in the air.
Right. Hold that. Go to Isaiah 59. No. Isaiah 60. Go to Isaiah 60 and 8.
Isaiah chapter 60 verse 8.
Since we're doing this on the fly, it's coming. Go ahead.
Who are these that fly as a cloud?
Who has here that what?
Fly as a cloud.
Right. Why does it say in the clouds? Because it's talking about what they call UFOs. Right? It's talking about the chariots of the Most High. Who are these that fly in the clouds? Who are they? The 144,000, the 1/3, right? Go ahead.
And as the doves.
As of the what?
Doves.
The doves. The Most High's favorite bird was the dove. He refers to Israel as his dove. Go ahead.
To their windows.
To their what?
Windows.
What are we going to be looking out of?
Windows.
Those doves are going to be looking out the windows, crying and looking over what? Babylon, fall, burning up, right? Finish up Thessalonians.
And so shall we ever be with the Most High.
Right, because why? Everything, it's Daniel 7:18, it says what? That Christ's kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom. It's going to be given to Yahweh Shai. The saints are going to run the kingdom, right? And we're going to be with Yahweh Shai. The process, what has to happen, right? We're going to be delivered from that, the noise of the archers, right? I mean, does that make a little bit sense?
Oh, I get that.
Absolutely,
I get
absolutely,
that all.
right.
You're
with it.
I'm with all of that. I'm with what the Bible says. I'm with it.
You're with it.
I'm with it.
God. Right. So, like I said, you might have it, but the sister didn't have it. So, what piece are we missing?
Okay.
Now we're in the chariots. We're taken.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's left?
Right. But first, before, right, we were taken, removed from the destruction that already happened, right? Because the destruction had already happened because Christ cracked the sky, right?
Cracked the sky
and made war,
right?
Right. The flaming fire, the breath of
what's happening with everybody there? They're being killed.
Right.
What's happening with the righteous? We're being delivered.
Correct.
Why? Because that fire, we don't want none of that.
Correct. They are the ones that were alive and remain.
Right? During that?
Yeah. and it says they were called up.
Right.
It says then, right? Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the cloud.
Right.
Right? The chariots, of course.
Right. This is a quick sequence though.
Right.
It ain't like the Christians told us that.
No. Yeah.
Yahweh Shai destroys all of them and he gives us time to think about it. No.
No 7-year tribulation, nothing like that.
None of that. No, we're taken up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to be delivered from the noise of the archers. We don't want that thermo heat. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not.
Right. No, you're not.
They were talking about and how they put it.
Right.
No, I'm just saying that they use the context of, right, you don't want to be alive and remain.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's clear. It's clear. Yeah. What's that?
Can we add that 1 Corinthians 15 and 52? The twinkling?
Yeah. Right. But let's talk about that. When is that twinkling gonna happen before the rebels are cast out?
That's what I was asking.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It ain't gonna happen before the rebels ain't cast out, right? It's telling us what is going to happen, right? It's telling us what is going to happen. Because the sequence of things, the rebels are still with us. We're being lifted up. We're out of Egypt. We're being delivered out of Egypt, but there's so many disgruntled Israelites. Is everybody just going to be twinkled? So then the disgruntled lights are going to be twinkled too? No. What's going to happen is, like Egypt, what did the Most High do? He took us out of Egypt, and he what? Brought us to the place where he said in Ezekiel, he will plead with us face to face. Then the rebels are going to be cast out. That's what has to happen. Why? Because after all of this, you still going to have what? Ninjas among us, right? And they're going to still rebel against what the...
That's crazy.
Bro, I could sit here and tell you how. It's very easy. It's very easy because you know what? They didn't rehearse the righteous acts, and they had in their mind what was going to be the concept of following the Most High as opposed to the scriptures. So they never rehearsed it. You can't practice, right, something, and then next you know, all of a sudden you're going to be in order in the wilderness. You're still going to be the what? No. I'm just going to be the one watching. I'm going to be the guy, I'm going to be the woman to have an opinion, but never worked on myself to show forth to Yahweh Shai. That's what's going to happen. That's easy. Yeah.
So what was the point of them even getting to that level? See what I'm saying? Like,
What was their point to even get to that level?
To show everybody that's remaining something. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you already know they're gonna rebel, so what was the point of them even getting to that level?
Well, let's be real with all this. Everybody knows what's going to happen. We just read it. But is that going to change minds? Does that change minds?
I mean, I guess not. But I mean, at that point,
There
they
you go.
see what's going. Oh, okay, yeah,
There's got to be an example,
yeah.
right? If that was the case, like everything's being laid out. He said it. Aaron said it best. How? Like you think at that point, bro, you just crawling to the Father, to anything the Father is doing and setting up, right? But did we do that in the wilderness?
Yeah, I'm about to say, go back to the answer.
No, we didn't do that in the wilderness. We what? We made sense and sensed it away out of our mind to having no damn sense. I will make sense of that. Yeah, you know, it could have happened. You were like Esau. Yeah, I get there was a fire, but I don't know. That could have, anybody could have, like, the Most High, you're right, you did something to explain it away. Right, to carnally rationalize it instead of giving the power to Yahweh and riding within that humility. So yeah, we're still gonna be in that mind.
I couldn't see how like him either though, because I be thinking like they seen all
I can't see it either.
back in the day. Like, you know, now we don't think we ever seen nothing.
Right.
You know, and in these times, you know, that extraordinary, but
Israel.
you know,
I love it.
something that extraordinary, like you said.
But now, could I say this? Could I just say this, Ak? And I don't mean to be offensive to anybody. There's a lot of things we see now in the spirit of the Most High, and because brothers lack of faith and hope in the Father, they don't see, and we look at you like, what? You can't see this? And you look at us like, nah, I don't see it. It's not going to change unless we rehearse the righteous acts and we walk by faith and not by sight. It's not going to happen unless you work the work B times. If not, what's going to happen? You're still going to be in this mind of over, because brothers do it now. We can show brothers many ways the Most High is pushing them to do, to act right, to be right, to fight the sin, fight the negative. But they're like, yeah, I don't want to really fight that way. I'm going to conquer another way. It don't make sense. And that's what Israel loves to do. They love to what? Explain it away. Nah, I'm going to do it my way. But your way is constantly destructive and corrupting you. So when you ask this, and brothers ask that question and be like, it's easy. They do it right now. The just shall live by faith. When? When Yahweh Shai pop up with 20 million angels? No. We're going to live by faith now. Right? Hold on. She had a hand. What's that?
Oh, Nukamari had asked another question earlier.
On another topic?
No, same topic.
Oh, what's that?
He said, is there any scriptures that use the word taken specifically for being delivered?
No. Okay. Let me clarify myself. Maybe because we tuned in, we clicked in online and we were already in the middle of a deep conversation. I was paraphrasing when I used the word taken, right? When referring to Thessalonians. But it was made clear, right, that what it said in Thessalonians, right? Okay, so that's the answer that I'm not sure when you came in on the topic. We kind of started in the middle because of the internet. But I haven't seen a taken in that context, all right? The way it's used, or they might have used it before, right? Answering that, you had a question. Go ahead.
Not a question. So what the point of what you just said lastly before you.
So you got a statement, or what are you doing? Were you asking something?
Yeah.
You adding to something? What are you doing?
Yes, I'm adding. I'm adding.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation. Remember when I said how can that possibly be? But you explained it. This scripture came to mind. Revelation chapter 22, and I'm starting at verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto me, seal not the saying of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. Verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. To that point, when I said how,
Yeah.
Because they're still going to have that mindset.
They're
still
still
going to be believing that lie.
They're still, they did not work out the spiritual mind.
Right.
So when Yahweh Shai shows up, they ain't going to be spiritual, right? They're going to be in Christian mode. I know Jesus in my heart, and I know how I feel towards the Most High. I kept the Sabbath. I don't eat pork. I'm good. But you didn't work none of those other things that changed the inward man, right? Was that it on that? Yeah. For y'all that came in on the conversation, it was just him. It was just, we were talking about the usage of taken, right? And how they use it. And we were just clarifying it. I think along the way, we understood what we were saying. I understood what you said. I just wanted to know what you meant. And that's what we were going over, all right? So I know y'all tuned in at that point. All right, any other questions? If not, I'm going to literally jump. The reason why I ran with that is because it goes right in our topic on Daniel 7 where we finished off at, right? And we finished off in Daniel 7 and we got about 45 minutes. Let's see if I can get through it here. Daniel 7 and yeah, Daniel 7. So we read this. We read all the kingdoms that came before, right? In the last kingdom, the fourth beast, we know we were talking about how how is this fourth beast coincide with America? But I wanted to touch on, before we go into that, I wanted to go to Daniel's 2 and 41. Because the point of this topic really, a lot of the history, most of y'all got. The Babylonians, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, the Romans. But one of the points I wanted to talk about was what we're talking about today. What a lot of brothers and sisters are missing, the signs of the time that's happening right now. Daniel's 2:41, read that.
Daniel chapter 2, verse 41.
Uh-huh.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay,
right,
and part of iron.
Right. Now, when you go back into Daniel's 2, we don't have to do it because we already did. It gives you the what? The kingdoms that are going to come into power. And it's referring to the latter kingdom. But it emphasizes a little bit more and tells you the latter kingdom, the foot, right? When you come to this part of the time we're in, it pointed out something specific. It said that they're what? The feet and toes
are part clay, part of potter's clay, and part of iron.
Right. Now, why does it say that? Because we're dealing with, remember, the last kingdom had a democracy, right? And this is going to destroy their kingdom. The same deception that they deceived the world with is what is going to destroy them. Because they go to every nation, right? And they plant their foot in this democracy, right? Demonocracy, right? And what do? You don't have to wear your, what are they doing to the Iranians out there? I guarantee you that's America out there. You don't got to wear your head wrap no more. You got to what? You're free now. And the media is pointing out what? It's a new age. It's a new age. You don't got to be bound by rules. So this is where we're going to get into this Babylon. Why America's Babylon? Because this nation is the nation that's pushing this false narrative to what? Be free, world. Right? This is the mark of the beast. It's happening now. Everybody's looking for the chip. Guess what? The chip came and left. Or the chip's still here. Because it's in your phone. It's in your credit card. It's in everything you do. And you what? Every day you walk with the chip. But because you got a cell phone, do you got the mark of the beast? Right? So you're trying to tell me all we're waiting for is just to inseminate it in your hand? No, there's more additives. Now, you got to say this for the ones that don't get it. I'm not saying go get the physical chip.
No, that's definitely not what you said.
I'm not saying that. No, trust me. You got to say that. Because they're like, so what you said? Like, it was a 3-hour class. You didn't understand it? I'm not saying don't get the chip. You can get the chip in your hand and the cell phone chips that they're going to come out with, right? The chips that they're going to be able to put in the back of your head and you know what? You control your computer with your mind. Don't get the chip. But that is not only the mark of the beast. There's much more, right? What about the drug dealers? The dope dealers? What about the Illuminati that is up in the high echelon that deals with, remember Pizzagate? Right? You trying to tell me they don't got the mark of the beast? Unless they got a chip? No, this is all part of the mark of the beast. Go to Daniel's 8:25 real quick. Man, time be.
Daniel chapter 8, verse 25.
Go ahead.
And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper.
So once again, now if you go to Daniel's 8, it's talking about, the same kingdom. It's talking about this Greco-Roman Empire that they caused what to prosper?
Cause craft to prosper.
They caused witchcraft, right? They caused witchcraft to prosper. And they do it off of what? Policy. Right? You know what? We're gonna play with this Roe v. Wade. It shouldn't even be about that. It should be about what the Most High laid down. But this is the destruction of Esau, of the Greco-Roman Empire. This what makes them iron and clay, because their own kingdom is now imploding on the inside. Trump is saying what? You don't want to do this. You know that Trump came out and said, listen, y'all planted evidence, and what did they start doing to the FBI agents? They went to the FBI headquarters, and old boy went and was like, boom, 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 trying to get in the front door. He couldn't get through the front door. He hits it with something else, drives off, and they follow him, and he kills himself in the field. Yeah. He kills himself in the field, right? Why? Why Edomites doing this to the Edomites? It's a kingdom of iron and clay, and what we see, how do we know this is the last empire? Because these little footnotes that the Most High is bringing to pass, right? You got people screaming over here, pro-gay, anti-gay. Right. You got the Democrats. Bro, this is heated. That like, it's no longer like cordial. Right. It says a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So when you got the iron and clay, when you read down, we're going to read down, it's showing us that doesn't even mix. It doesn't even mix. And this is what's been going on for a long time. And how many people are going to be, now, listen to this. I know you're thinking, only America. Remember, who's the beast? Esau. I know we're going to get to that too. But what's going on in Russia? Go ahead. Say it.
You know, I was talking to Ishmael in the mall.
Right.
And I wanted to ask him about what's going on in Iran. But he actually said something that makes sense today. He said two things. One, those people that's in power, those Iranians, they're the cousins of the Jews.
Ooh, there you go.
Make them who?
Edomites. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because, you know, he was explaining some things about what he believes in, about forgiveness. Made sense. But I'm looking at what we're going over. It makes sense because that's Esau. You know, it's not just America. So that's how that America influenced them, because they're the same people. They're the
same people. Like, Putin is over there, and he's going to war. He called, 300,000 men to come up and fight the war. They said the flights out of Russia, they said you couldn't get a flight. That's how many planes were out of that. Because why? The policy. What his policy, which is what? Oh, we're freeing you. We're not freeing you, though. We're freeing you to do wickedness. Mm-hmm. You could be a faggot all you want. You can have the right to smoke weed all you want, right? You have the right to go to strip clubs and fornicate all you want. That's the deception with the policy, is that freedom is given through democracy when it's not. That's the craft of it, right? Oh yeah, I'm free. Like, bro, I can go out and do anything I want. What are y'all talking about? America's the land of the free. Russia's free. It's a free country. It's a country of democracy. Bro, he been ruling over there for how damn long? Right? But this is what these nations do in this name of democracy under the beast, under the whore, right? Because you got the beast, the Edomite nation, then you got this whore, the whole kingdom, right? That supports the beast, right? We're going to get into that too. Go ahead, read on. Where you at?
Daniel chapter 8, verse 25.
Go ahead.
And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Right, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And this is what's dragging their kingdom out through the lies. But now their own lies is what? Being revealed, right? That's why, hold that. Go to Isaiah 47. Isaiah 47, verse 1. Real quick.
Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1.
Right.
Come down.
Right.
And sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Right, and we're going to going to showing that once again that this is America, right? But come down, sit in the dust. Like, remember, this is a prophecy. They're not in the dust yet, but it's coming down. Like, look at this joker, Mr. Burns. Look at Mr. Burns. You literally got Mr. Burns as the president. right? You got your guy Putin walking out all strong back. You know what I mean? Mr. Byrne comes out. He's like, he does that. No, this way, Mr. President.
You saw that one? He was holding the lady hand. He's like, no, that's not your wife. You didn't see that, boy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you seen the video about when Biden gets off the Air Force One chopper? And he was coming down the stairs. He was like, it was a little shaky, but he stuck the landing, right? And they were commentating it, right? So he comes up off the steps, comes through the lawn on the sidewalk, right? And they got FBI agents, secret agents, right? At every point that he's supposed to, meet and then turn another direction, right? So they're like, all right, let's keep that finger pointed, keep that finger pointed, keep that finger pointed, and good. So he's going to the next person is like this, keep that finger pointed, keep that finger pointed. Oh shit, he missed it. So he just walks right by, right? And they're like, okay, we got to get a little small girl or something and get him back on track. That's what they say. Like,
wow.
It's crazy, man.
But here you go. You're thinking like, well, damn, that's why Trump needs to be there, because he's on it, right? Bro, what's evil do you want? Do you want Mr. Burns or do you want a damn maniac? Right? And this is what America has come to. What we're seeing now and what's going on in the world today literally is the latter end of their kingdom. That's why if you're paying attention, the iron and clay, it ain't mixing now. Now it's revealing itself. That's why he says, come down and sit in the dust. Why? It's their time. It's time for this nation to fall. Go ahead.
There is no throne.
There's what?
There is no throne.
Yeah, but listen, your prestige, when all the nations used to look up to America and say, damn, let's go to America, man. Now, ain't nobody scared of America now. Putin is like, look, trust me. He's like, listen, he might as well said, I'm not a punk. You know what I mean? You listen, go ahead and act a fool, right? Because why? He's threatening. Iran is always threatening. China's like, look, I'm gonna ignore you, you old ass slouch, right? I'm gonna keep doing what we're doing because you're not the monopoly on the world anymore. You're coming down, and that's what we're seeing, right? All jokes aside, that's what y'all have to understand. What is happening? Yeah, what king is this substance of a damn the residue? That's not a king. It's mockery. It's clownery, right? Whether it's him or Trump, right? And that's what the Most High is showing us. And they're doing what? Hell yeah, they're setting up. They're setting up Trump. Hell yeah, they're going at him. But that's the mixing of iron and clay. The demonocracy is not going to work. So what? They're going at each other. I keep quoting it. The scripture says he shall feed them with their own flesh. And they're fighting each other. And it's going to go like that all the way down to when they come through the fourth. Right? Remember, what's going to bring us to this point of literally, we're in the beginning stages of World War III. What's going to bring us to this point of where you're finally saying, bro, it's World War III? When is it? When is everybody going to start saying that? A lot of them are not. We know what time period we're in. And that's the point of the topic, is like, that's why I said what we were talking about earlier came right in. I was going to swing it back around. Like, we're in these times. We should be preparing for everything we just read earlier. Right? But you got to know these little details. The kingdom of iron and clay. When you're not looking at the news and you're not seeing how they're fighting against each other, you're missing this part. And
just the whole part about sitting in the dust. If you ain't watching the news, if you're not paying attention, the statement about "Make America Great," like you sit back and look at the things which America prided themselves off of once upon a time. I mean, just look at all of the malls. The malls are empty and desolate.
Desolate.
You look at the they just recently, who is it? American Airlines grounded 25. that was America's pride and joy, being the staple of aviation industry.
Right.
You know what I mean? The pandemic shut that down.
Yep.
Them crashing, all of them jets falling out the sky.
Brother, the stock market.
The stock market.
But
gone.
what is the Most High doing? Remember, he's got to keep as a thief in the night. Because this ain't about letting everybody know. Right. Like, it's in the world. Because why? What is everybody going to do? They're going to stop marrying, partying, dancing. But a thief in the night means what? You're not going to know. He's going to do it like a woman in travail. Right? A woman has those contractions, and then what? It slows down until it all the way gets to that point. And when it slows down, the economy goes back up. There's an argument about the economy, whether we're in a recession or not. It's beautiful. I love it. They're going crazy right before our eyes. While we're sitting back, and I'm like, man, this is beautiful. The Most High is revealing everything. But if you're not watching the news, if you're not watching what's going on with their regime and kingdom, then you're gonna a lot of times you gotta go back and see these things for prophecy's sake. Because if not, you get caught up into your own little bubble and world, and you start to lose focus on what's important. That I gotta be found so doing when Yahweh Shai come back. I got to be getting my spirit right and cleaning the filth out of me. So this is why this topic came up. Truthfully, go ahead.
Like the scripture said, cursed is the man that maketh man his arm.
Right.
In my profession, I go to different people's houses, and I was in this house where this guy, right, Edomite, was a 26-year plus Navy, retired.
Yeah.
Right, and he's talking about how he got all these things lined up, his pension plan, his savings and whatnot, this and that, right? He said after the pandemic, he said what he thought before the pandemic, he had it figured out, mapped out. He's gonna live the rest of his life off of all of that. After the pandemic, he's like, he doesn't know. He's trying to figure out some things, and he's like, I gotta go get a part-time job.
Right.
And I'm like,
you put your trust in America.
Trusting in all of this stuff. You're gonna trust in all of this stuff, and I'm like, oh, man. And so I just say it under my breath. Try to give him, without giving him, I was whatever.
Right.
I was like, you go ahead. But I was like, man, but how if we don't dig in, right? If we don't rehearse these righteous acts,
right?
If we don't think on Yahweh Shai, think on our thoughts, right? If we don't examine ourselves daily, right? If we don't consider our downfall before we begin something, if we don't consider how is this going to bless the body,
now you're talking.
Not thinking about ourselves, how it's going to bless me, but how is this going to bless the body. If we're not thinking about that, it's going to fail.
Yeah.
If we're not considering how we're going to place our time, our energy, in trusting in something that man has created.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of how Shai can and will give us as a reward. Right? If we're not locked into that, we'll find ourselves thinking that anything in this world will help us.
Yep.
Anything in this world will get us there.
Yep.
And we'll be like those ones, he did is unjust, let him be unjust still.
Right.
And
it'd be that Matthew's 13 chapter we've been talking about, where the things of the world choke the word.
Yes.
Right? And or family or friends choke the word in us, and we turn back. Right? Yep. Good point. Good point. Finish that Isaiah 47. Read down.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
And that's what's happening now. The America is no more called tender and delicate. Once again, I was bringing it out the other day. They literally are sending people from across the border. They're rounding these cats up and sending them to senators' houses.
Oh yes, yeah.
Y'all gotta understand what the hell this means. Now, the ones that are doing that they're like, okay, well, we're gonna sue you for doing that. It's beautiful. America's going to hell in a handbasket.
Right. Nah.
But where's your treasure at? What are you building? Right? It says, seek ye first the kingdom of Most High and his righteousness. Are you building your righteousness in the kingdom of heaven? Or is it what? Temporal. Temporal things, right? So we got to keep our mind on the prize. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 2.
Take
the millstones and grind meal.
Yeah, because America's, they're having to do more work now. Like you said, you put all that trust in what? Your pension, your 401. And the Most High said, in one day, he said what? I'm going to take this out 1 year. I'm going to destroy all of that wishes, all of that hope. Right? But we sat back and we still like what? Pandemic, one thing happened, and guess what? Nothing changed after the pandemic. We're still what? Walking by faith, right? Right? We still get money like we was getting money before. Right? That's the thing about it. It didn't change, right? Unless you were literally living for the what? The dream. You living for the dream? Right? Then you better wake the hell up, right? Go ahead.
Uncover thy locks. Make bare the lead.
And that's what's going on here. If you're paying attention to all this fightings within, they're uncovering and revealing. Like there's certain things they're talking about in rules and laws that they put forth. They're telling you they were faulty from the door. But you're not paying attention and saying, wait a minute. Damn, they're revealing to me the reason why not to trust in a kingdom that's crumbling from the bottom.
Right.
But you still got our people doing what? They put their trust in Pharaoh. And Egypt shall be their shame. Yeah. They putting their trust in this, man. Go ahead.
Uncover the thigh.
Right.
Pass over the rivers.
Right.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Right. And that's what's being seen right now. The nakedness. If you're paying attention. Matthew's 13 and 16. Just write it down. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. You're blessed to know these things. Matthew's 13, 16. You're blessed. You're blessed to know the secrets. His secrets are revealed to his servants, the prophets. You're blessed to know this thing. That way, as we're walking, we're in the world. You work in the world, but you're not of the world, right? We moving outside of this system, right? We unplugged we in the matrix, but we moving around, man, looking at everybody else like they zombies, right? We're unplugged. Go ahead.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Read.
Yea, thy shame shall be seen.
That's what's being seen right now. There's shame, the lies, the falsehood, the fake hope, the fake dream. It is a dream, right? Jump back to Daniel's.
Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25.
Go ahead. No, Daniel's 2.
Verse 41.
Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes,
Right.
part of potter's clay and part of iron.
Go ahead.
The kingdom shall be divided.
The what?
The kingdom shall be divided.
Right. And what does it say? A kingdom divided against itself, what?
Will not stand.
Will not stand. And that's what we're seeing more now. That's why America's imploding with the Democrats, Republicans, the Senate, the Congress, who Trump put in there, who Trump moved from there. Like, y'all got to see this. It's crazy, man. Like, you should see the judges that Trump put in, right? You got them going crazy on whose side are these judges on. Are they going to stick to what they agreed to, their oaths, or are they going to stick to the Trump, right? They got the FBI, bro. When at any time in the history you're questioning the motive of the FBI? Trump came and said, "Listen, they planted those things there." So now what? You're looking at all these people that will be looked up to, right? Not us, because we all knew they was corrupt. So when I say we, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about them. They look at it, right? And they see what? Oh, prestige. The police, they would never do that. The judges, they would never do that. Right? He's a good judge. He believes in justice and righteousness. But now we're seeing that there's holes in all these things. The righteous, the one that are awake, you should see it, right? Go ahead.
But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron.
Go ahead.
For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Right.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay.
Go ahead.
So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
And that's what we're seeing, a partly strong. You're like, they're not broke, but they're not strong no more. Right? Go ahead.
If you really think about it, right? I know you mentioned, you know, if we're watching the news, if we're being observant of the times, to be aware of them. From the very beginning, they've always been divided, like the scripture said.
Yeah.
Part iron, part clay.
Right.
They were what they called it northern. What they called it themselves? They called it the southern.
Oh, right. How America was established, right?
When America was established, it was divided, right?
Yeah.
Then when they so-called came together, they were divided, Republican, Democrat.
Right.
So they've been divided from the very beginning.
From the beginning. Let's go back further. Remember what we read about the Greeks and the Romans. Remember, all Edomites, right? But when you go into that and you go into the Caesars, what were the Caesars doing?
No.
They were killing each other, right? When we talked about Caligula, they called him his family. Part of his family went and called him, joined up with the military, called him in a damn I was gonna say a hallway. What do you call it? An alley, and they just like American Mijito. Yeah, they kill him like that. But that's how all of the Caesars were going out, right? So a kingdom that was constantly divided, right? If you want to go from that standpoint, go ahead, read on.
Verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay,
right?
They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
They were gonna do what?
Mingle themselves with the seed of men.
So what is America? Remember, Babylon, right? The great melting pot means what? You throw everything into the pot, you turn on the pot, and you mix it all up, right? So you can be one, right? Now, yes, Esau has done that and trying to do that with his seed. But he failed at that because we know what? The seed is the man's. So what is he doing more? Having all these mingled seeds, right? Mixing the seed up so much for you not to see it, right? But they failed at that, right? Because we know you are what your father is, no matter how much you light skin. No matter how, if you're dark skinned and got a slim nose, you know what I mean? Like, you're looking at him like, but your nose is not wide enough, brother. Right? We know that doesn't determine, but that's what they done. Every step of the way, they try to mingle their seed with all the nations. That's like the Ishmaelites said. What? These cats, these are Edomites out there in these other countries. The president of all, go look at the summit. The summit they came to recently. It's all those are dang Edomites, man. Right? Speaking in foreign language. Every Ukrainian, right? He speaks with an accent, but he's a what? He's an Edomite. Right? They tried to mingle their seed. They tried to mingle and hide themselves, but they can't. Go ahead. Come on.
But they shall not cleave one to another. So
what other ways do they mingle themselves? They try to get everybody to come under this cloak and this lie in the policy. Right? We're what? We're American. We're fight for you. Right? We do this together. But they're revealing more what? No. If you want to be the little mermaid and be a little chocolate sister, we don't like you. Go back and try it again. Right? Not welcome. Right? They got the SWAT sticker right on their chest like, not welcome here, black man. I don't give a damn if you're a fictional character. It's not going to work. But once again, a kingdom of iron and clay. I thought we were together. Right? All hands across America. We are the world. We're the children, right? But the Most High is revealing. He's uncovering the lock. He's showing the leg. He's showing the people that what? She's a lying hooker. She's a nasty lying hoe. And she's deceptive. She's corrupt. But who sees it? And who don't? Blessed are your eyes for they see. Everybody else is asleep. They just like, look, weed is legal now. That's all I know. Right? Weed is legal now. I'm not worried about none of that. You know what I mean? I just got me a $17 hour job. I'm not worried about what y'all are saying. Y'all are just angry as hell. You know what I mean? Why y'all yelling at people on the corners? Look, what are you talking about? Sowing is going to get me to the kingdom. What are you talking about? Charity and love. Like nobody believes that. Right? And that's what they try to do when it comes down to our works. Right? The things that the scriptures tell us, listen, this is what's going to get you into, you fed me, you clothed me, you visited me in prison. When you did this to the least of my brother, nah. Nobody believes in that. Right? But we do. We're woke. Right? Go ahead.
Even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Right. Even as iron doesn't mix with clay, that their lies and all the things they try to what? Cover up is seen. Y'all see this? Go ahead. Go to Proverbs 16:5.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
Yeah, that old. I want to lock you into this proud America. I'm proud to be an American. Right? Most I say this abomination. We supposed to be taking our solace in the Father, but they want you to what? No, come together. You know what I mean? Don't trans shame. Don't hold shame.
That's right.
Don't all this. You can't shame, but unless you're standing up for something right, then yeah, shame him. Wait a minute. I thought everybody had their own prerogative. Why are you shaming me now? Right? They monkeypox and shaming you. Right? I remember I seen the video of the chick. She had monkeypox. Oh no, she had some type of skin ailment. And just like, I don't even got monkeypox, but they shaming her. Why? Why is everything can be shamed except wickedness? Pride. This is the pride of America, man. Go ahead.
Though hand join in hand.
So back to the point. What is the Most High saying? You can try to mingle y'all together and be in this one mind, this one world order. We're going to build this tower to the top, and we're all going to have this focus on what we need to do. We're in this together, right? Every time I hear this little pasty Edomite, man, he's like, we're in this together. We're going to do it. It's like, send some checks out. We in this together. Huh? If we in this together, why are you not sending money? Money talks, BS walks. That's what we want. Trump send us checks, right? No, but we know that's what? Lies. You know what I mean? Even if he did send the checks, it's not his money anyway. It's the money we put in the pot, and all he's doing is what? Giving it back. Right? Go ahead. It says, though hand join the hand. Go ahead.
He shall not be unpunished.
He shall not be unpunished. Go from there. Go to Daniel's. Go to Ecclesiasticus. I'm sorry. Go back to Daniel's 8:25. We want to finish that. Read that. Finish that up. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper.
Go ahead.
In his head.
Read.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Right, and that's the pride. We got to watch out for this pride of America. This unyielding, unchanging lack of humility that America has for all the filth, fornication, lies, corruption, deception have taught. Yeah.
No, I was saying that somebody was saying they were saying my body
Right.
Why isn't it my body, my choice, and they come back?
Because why? It's a manipulative through their policy. They make craft to prosper. Witchcraft. Well, bro, I see you. You're the guy behind the curtain. I've been watching you, bro.
Right.
You're the guy that hangs out when the kids get out of school, huh? You're that guy, bro. You're spooky and creepy. So we've been watching him from the door.
Right.
But everybody else is not. They're asleep, right? They're not woke to these points that the gospel has continually told us.
Right.
They're still trying to figure out, oh, the latter kingdom, that's made up. The people, that kingdom is dead and gone. Then where the hell are we dealing with? Where are we at? Right? If Yahweh Shai is not going to come back in this time, right? Then we'll be damned. If he doesn't come back within this period of time and Esau in this kingdom rules another 1,000 years, we're damned. Right? Because we know just us. Let's do another 100 years. We'll be dead and gone. That means what? Come on now. You got to think about it and understand the Most High's prophecies that are showing us is getting closer. I'm not saying I know when it is. I'm not saying he's going to come tomorrow, next week, or the week after. What I'm saying is that the scriptures let us know it's getting closer, right? By these different signs. Finish that. Go ahead.
And by peace shall destroy many.
And this is what America is known for. And I'm not gonna get into going into this Babylon point. I'm gonna have to wait, because what's gonna happen is we'll be here another few hours. But this is what Babylon was built on. It was built on this peace, right? We're bringing peace. We're bringing democracy. Democracy is peace, right? Democracy means you can do whatever you want, right? And nobody's forced to do anything. This is what Babylon was built on. Go ahead. Finish that.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
And we went over that earlier, right? Who's going to stand up against the prince of princes? This latter kingdom. But not only him, his kingdom, and all the other nations, right? Go ahead.
But he shall be broken without hand.
He shall be broken without hand, right? Man. So we're going to finish this. We're going to finish this. Because we got into a good conversation earlier. And it wasn't wrong. It wasn't bad, because it was kind of the back end of this class anyway, right? But we're going to finish this, all right? I wanted to touch on that kingdom part of iron and clay so we can understand about the two sides, a kingdom divided, right? This nation, the lies and the deception, right? Any questions on that? I know it's a lot. I'll be here. I'll be here late if I went through the next 8. Then I got a whole nother one that we go into. All right. So, any questions on that? Any questions off the topic? All right. Any questions online? Okay. Remember, Monday is the feast. The Feast of Trumpets, right? So we're gonna start when? About 7 o'clock. All right. So, if you believe in following the holy days, come join us. Gather yourself together, right? Just a reminder, it is Monday. We're celebrating, all right? Another thing, I didn't get a chance to remind y'all, garments. I got to keep reminding y'all on that, all right? That way they can be in the back of your mind and these sisters can start working. Because you said the other day, Shalomaya, that what? That y'all could start.
Well, we have enough money to start purchasing, but we...
Of course.
Yeah.
What I keep reminding them, keep getting it in, because they can start, but you want them to we want to get to that point to where they can get majority of the stuff done. And the little, if everybody is given the little for your garments, they can actually get things done. All right. Also, alms, whatever you give to the school, we appreciate it. We need it. We need the help. All right. We got to always remind that. What else? Any other announcements? No? No other announcements? All right. Anything online?
No.
Okay. Any questions online before we hang up?
No, we got all the questions.
Yeah. All right. We'll wait a few seconds. All right. Listen, I could take Sabbath class to 8, 9, to 11 o'clock, but we got Sabbath morning class. We're here another 8 hours at Sabbath, 6, 5, maybe 5, right? So that's why if any questions or anything, Lord willing, we'll be here again, right? And we'll get out these topics. So if that's it, if nobody got anything online, let's salute them. Say shalom, y'all. Shalom. Shabbat shalom to everybody online, y'all.
And all the brothers and the sisters cooling out, having fun, drinking yayin with Yahweh up in the kingdom, yeah.
Who are we? It's God. Then who are we? It's God. Can't be you. Israel. Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power.
Who's the power?
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's the power.